Have you ever sat down to work, determined to get things done, only to find your mind wandering within minutes? Maybe you check your phone, open a new tab, or suddenly remember something urgent that needs your attention. Hours pass, and you realize you've accomplished almost nothing. You feel frustrated, scattered, and exhausted. Not because you worked too hard, but because you couldn't focus at all. If you're honest, you know this feeling. In today's world, deep focus feels almost impossible. Notifications, emails, social media, endless choices. Your attention is under attack from the moment you wake up. You want to concentrate, to create, to make progress, but your mind is pulled in 1,000 directions. Why is it so hard to focus? Why does your brain crave distraction, even when you know it's hurting you? Why do you feel restless, anxious, and unsatisfied, even after a busy day? What if I told you the answer isn't to force yourself to focus harder, but to change the way you live? What if the secret to deep focus isn't about willpower, but about embracing a philosophy that has quietly shaped Japanese culture for centuries, a philosophy called Seihin, the art of clean simplicity? Today, I'm going to reveal how Seihin's philosophy can train your brain to find clarity, calm, and deep focus, no matter how chaotic your world feels. This isn't just about productivity. It's about reclaiming your mind, your time, and your life. But before we begin, I want you to do something. In the comments, write one area of your life where you struggle most with focus. Is it your work, your studies, your relationships, your thoughts? Make it public. Make it real. Because the first step to deep focus is admitting where you feel scattered. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. This is a community for people who are done with distraction and ready to live with intention. Let's begin. We live in the noisiest era in human history. Never before have we had so many things competing for our attention. The average person checks their phone over 100 times a day, switches tasks every few minutes, and is bombarded by thousands of ads, messages, and notifications. But all this noise comes at a cost. Our minds are fragmented. Our thoughts are shallow. We start projects and never finish. We read but don't remember. We listen but don't hear. We feel busy but not productive. Connected but not fulfilled. Psychologists call it attention residue. Every time you switch tasks, a part of your mind stays stuck on the last thing you were doing. The more you switch, the less you can focus. The more clutter in your environment, your schedule, and your mind, the harder it is to go deep. But here's the paradox. The solution isn't to try harder, but to simplify. Not to add more, but to remove what doesn't matter. Not to chase after focus, but to create the conditions where focus happens naturally. For centuries, Japanese culture has quietly practiced the art of simplicity, not just in design, but in life. From Zen temples to minimalist homes, from tea ceremonies to martial arts, the Japanese have learned that true power, beauty, and focus are found not in what you add, but in what you remove. Seihin is the philosophy of clean simplicity. It's about stripping away the unnecessary, the distracting, the complicated, so that what remains is pure, clear, and powerful. In a traditional Japanese room, you'll find only what is needed. In a Zen garden, empty space is as important as the stones and plants. In the tea ceremony, every movement is intentional. Every object has a purpose and nothing is wasted. Why? Because when you remove the clutter, your mind becomes calm. When you embrace simplicity, you make space for deep focus. Modern science is finally catching up to what Japanese wisdom has known for centuries. Studies show that clutter, physical, digital, and mental, raises stress, lowers focus, and drains your energy. People who work in clean, simple environments are more productive, more creative, and less likely to procrastinate. Neuroscientists call it cognitive load. The more you carry, the slower you move. The less you carry, the faster you grow. When your environment is clean, your mind is free to go deep. But simplicity isn't just about your space. It's about your habits, your routines, your thoughts. The more you simplify, the easier it is to focus. So why do we keep adding more? Why is it so hard to let go? The truth is, most of us are addicted to noise. We fear silence, emptiness, and stillness. We fill every moment with music, podcasts, scrolling, and chatter. Not because we need more information, but because we're uncomfortable with less. But this addiction to noise is the enemy of focus. Every distraction, every notification, every unnecessary choice is a thief that steals your attention, your energy, and your life. Japanese wisdom teaches that the root of distraction is not outside, but inside. It's the fear of being alone with your own thoughts, the discomfort of facing yourself, the anxiety of emptiness. Zen monks spend years learning to sit in silence, to face the emptiness within. They discover that what we fear most, stillness, simplicity, quiet, is actually the doorway to deep focus. Letting go is hard. It means facing your fears, your attachments, your stories about what you need. It means saying no to what doesn't serve you, even when everyone else is saying yes. But every time you remove a distraction, you become stronger. Every time you say no, you make space for a deeper yes. Every time you clear the clutter, you discover what is truly essential. In Japan, there is a practice called danshari, the art of refusing, disposing, and separating. It's not just about throwing things away. It's about training your mind to let go of what you don't need, possessions, habits, even thoughts. The first step is to ask, does this help me focus? Does this add value to my life? If not, let it go. One of the most powerful Japanese concepts is Shoshin, the beginner's mind. It means approaching life with openness, curiosity, and a willingness to see things as they are, not as you think they should be. When you embrace Shoshin, you stop clinging to the past, to old habits, to the need for more. You become willing to start fresh, to see the beauty in simplicity, to find joy in the ordinary. Children are natural masters of focus. When they play, they are fully present. They don't need much to be happy, a stick, a stone, a story. They are absorbed, alive, and free. As adults, we forget this. We fill our lives with things and wonder why we feel empty. Shoshin is the key to returning to deep focus, not as a step backward, but as a leap forward. Kanso is the Japanese principle of simplicity and elimination of clutter. It's about choosing what matters and letting go of the rest. Start with your environment. Look around your workspace, your desk, your phone. What do you see that you don't use, don't love, or don't need? Remove it, give it away, delete it. Every object you let go of is a weight lifted from your mind. But Kanso is not just about things. It's about your schedule, your commitments, your relationships. Where are you saying yes out of obligation, fear, or habit? Where can you say no and make space for what truly matters? The goal is not emptiness but clarity. Not less for the sake of less, but less for the sake of more. More focus, more energy, more life. Ma is the Japanese concept of negative space, the emptiness between things. In art, music, and architecture, ma is what gives meaning to form. In life, ma is what gives meaning to action. Most people fear empty space. They fill every moment with noise, every room with stuff, every day with busyness. But Japanese wisdom teaches that space is not nothing, it is everything. When you create space in your life, you create room for rest, reflection, and creativity. You allow yourself to breathe, to think, to be. Try it now. Take a deep breath. Notice the space between your thoughts, the silence between your words, the pause between your actions. This is Ma, the beauty of space. Seihin is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice, a set of rituals that train your brain to embrace simplicity and focus. Wake up and make your bed. Prepare a simple meal. Clean your space. Take a walk without your phone. Write down your thoughts. Reflect on what you can let go of today. These small acts are not just chores. They are training for your mind. They teach you to be present, to be grateful, to find joy in the ordinary. Over time, these rituals become habits. Habits become identity. You become someone who lives simply, thinks clearly, and acts with purpose. Imagine a life where you are not weighed down by clutter, not distracted by noise, not pulled in 1,000 directions. Imagine waking up with a clear mind, a calm heart, and a sense of purpose. This is the promise of Seihin's philosophy. It is not about deprivation, but about liberation. It is not about having less, but about being more. When you let go of what you don't need, you discover what you truly want. When you stop chasing after more, you find contentment in what you have. Deep focus is not a superpower. It is a skill, a muscle you build by embracing simplicity, by saying no to noise, by creating space for what matters. Now it's your turn. In the comments, write one thing you will remove from your life this week. A distraction, a habit, a thought, or a commitment. Make it public. Make it real. Let this be your first step toward deep focus and clean simplicity. And if you found value in this video, subscribe to the channel. Share it with someone who needs this message. And join our community of people who are ready to embrace Seihin. Remember, the world will keep telling you to do more, buy more, be more. But the real secret to deep focus is to do less, own less, and be more present. Seihin's philosophy is not just a way to organize your space. It is a way to organize your mind, your time, and your life. Your journey to deep focus and clean simplicity begins now. See you in the next video.